I'm AJ Hymiller, and here's your Spectrum News in 90. Roughly 1/3 of Americans don't think flu or COVID vaccines are necessary for people not considered high risk for respiratory illnesses. That's according to a survey conducted by Ohio State's Wexner Medical Center. That same group of people also said they believe their vaccine decision does not have an impact on others. Ohio Senator Sherrod Brown visited the country's southern border over the weekend. He met with U.S. Border Patrol agents and other local law enforcement officials. Brown says he made the trip to talk about border security and efforts to stop drug cartels from bringing drugs like fentanyl into the U.S. Ohio officials and authorities are reminding drivers about the usual uptick in deer-related crashes this time of year. Since 2018, Ohio State Highway Patrol has reported more than 100,000 deer-related accidents. Almost half of those crashes happened between October and December.
We live in a world that ease of access is seemingly what everyone has, and that's just not the case, especially for rural communities.
Now on Spectrum News 1, the technological divide between city and rural schools in Ohio, the struggles of limited access to high-speed broadband, and how a new project is hoping to help fill in the gaps. Hello, and thanks for joining us. I'm AJ Hymiller, and we'll have more on that story in just a moment. Plus, restaurants in Cleveland are receiving grants that will go toward higher hourly wages for employees, the program that's making it all possible, and the risks and rewards that come with it. The United States is hosting the annual APEC Summit of World Leaders this week. It's the first time the U.S. has hosted since 2011, and leaders from the 21-member Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Group will gather in San Francisco to talk about how to better spur trade and economic growth across the Pacific region. But the main summit event will actually be on the sidelines, a face-to-face meeting between President Joe Biden and Chinese President Xi Jinping. This year's conference is happening against the backdrop of the frosty relationship between China and the U.S. and global turmoil from the Israel-Hamas war and Russia invasion of Ukraine. Authorities in Iceland have declared a state of emergency over fears of a likely volcano eruption. They're asking thousands of citizens to evacuate. And in this video, you can see roads have been cracked and damaged due to more than 2,000 recent reported earthquakes in the past couple of days. This region is no stranger to the quakes, and there's been more than 20,000 recorded in the area since late October. Even though voters approved State Issue 1, the fight for abortion access in Ohio isn't over. Ohioans United for Reproductive Rights says it has a legal strategy to ensure current restrictions on abortion access are removed, now that a majority of Ohioans approved adding an amendment to the state constitution protecting reproductive rights. But opponents of the amendment, including the group Protect Women Ohio, and some state lawmakers say they plan to continue opposing the amendment and the option of abortion for Ohioans.
As we fight to be a voice for the voiceless, and advocate for women, the unborn, and parents.
While it is not surprising, it is very disappointing to continue to hear from legislators, from our representatives, saying, boldly that they're not going to listen to their constituents.
Currently, abortion care is available in Ohio up to 22 weeks following conception. Who doesn't remember their childhoods of getting rubber ducks at the carnival? Now, an Orange County man is using his rubber duck collection for a good cause. Joe Kwan has a story. Coming up on Spectrum News 1, how one Cleveland small business is using a grant to increase hourly pay for their employees and the risks and rewards that come along with it. Stay with us.